Welcome to the Awakened Human Podcast, the place to be for highly progressive yet extremely grounded intuitive guidance, energetic support, metaphysical tools, and higher consciousness for highly successful, ambitious, soul-centered visionaries and leaders like you who want to make a global impact and achieve your highest fulfillment by aligning with your soul's true divine agenda and your role in God's plan of lighted creation, and by utilizing your divine gifts, talents, and abilities from the higher realms. We do this by working with the non-physical realms of higher guidance, energy, intuition, and powerful metaphysical tools for healing and transformation. We understand that the real change and transformation that's being called for on planet Earth and in our own lives and our own businesses doesn't come from outside of us, but rather from within. And that the change that we desire to experience in our lives and in our world requires us to change from the inside. I'm your host, Lori Ann Spagna. I'm a best-selling author, spiritual catalyst, intuitive, energy worker, ascension guide, multidimensional channel, animal communicator, visionary, lightworker, and luminary. I have dedicated my entire professional life to helping thousands and thousands of humans and animals all over the world in service and contribution to the light, which is the expansion, the upliftment, the evolution of humanity, to awaken, to uplift, and to align with our true divine source, which exists within each and every one of us. It is my passion, joy, and purpose to share this information, energy, and consciousness with you. Thank you so much for being here today and for sharing time with me. Let's get started. Well, hello, you beautiful being. Welcome to today's podcast. Grateful to have you here. I'm excited that you're here. I hope you've been enjoying the episodes. I want to say that you probably may know, if you've been listening, that I was on hiatus for a while. I know I keep saying that, but I'm back now. But the one thing I did not stop doing, there were only two things I did not stop doing at all. One was my podcast episodes, because I love doing them. And the other was my Sacred Visionary Mentorship, which I love. I love our group. I love the women in the group, and there are men in there too, but right now it's mostly women. Okay, so I'm here with you today, you beautiful, magnificent being. And today we're going to talk about navigating 4D. It's a really important conversation. Most people do not know what 4D is. Everybody talks about 3D and 5D, but they don't really talk about 4D. And when most people are going through 4D, they don't really even know it. So I'm not going to define a 3D as old paradigm. Like, if you're listening to me, chances are you already know what that is. It's the whole old paradigm, the way we've been living, right? Fear-based reality, controlled. There's tons of videos on my YouTube channel about the difference between 3D and 5D. And I talk about 4D in there, but I want to help you understand when you're in the physical world, what you're doing as you start to awaken. 4D is the place where you're going through all of your shadow aspects. And so while 4D energetically is a non-physical energetic space that's comprised of thoughts and emotions and, energy that is essentially non-physical matter, it has substance, right? Thoughts, beliefs, belief systems, emotions, sensations, inertia, non-physical matter. There's even ghosts in 4D. There's entities, there's demonics. When you're in the dream state, most of the time you're traversing 4D. Sometimes if somebody commits suicide or physically dies and isn't ready, this sometimes can be labeled as purgatory by organized religion, or the bardos by other organized religions, regardless, right? However you label it. I mean, time, some people call 4D time, and that's not all that 4D is, because 4D time is a human construct. I did a whole podcast episode on time. You might want to check that out, or explained it more, but that's all like 4D, stuff of 4D, right? But in the physical world, when you start waking up and you start utilizing more of your heart center, more of your intuition, you're starting to heal and resolve some of those traumas. What happens is, as you're elevating in frequency, you're essentially raising your vibration, right? But as you're elevating in frequency and vibration, maybe you're activating your third eye, maybe you're awakening more of the heart brain. You're becoming more sensitive. You're clearing your chakras out. These are things that are taking you from 3D to 5D, but you have to traverse the great unknown. That's the great unknown, 4D. And when you're traversing that, it's not just a psychic realm, because what's going to show up in your physical reality is every fear that you have, all your worries, your anxieties, relationship challenges. If you have health issues, it's the unconscious beliefs that maybe you'll never heal, or you'll never get over it, or no matter what you do, nothing's good enough, or nothing's working. Those are what we call shadow aspects of your unconscious that you're going to have to face in this earthly reality. And because nobody talks about 4D, right? And if you just go to a therapist, they don't know this from Adam. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with therapy, right time, right place. If you need to talk to somebody, please get yourself support. I'm all for that. But if you don't understand that as you're going through an awakening process, you're going to have to traverse all that 4D, because that 4D is, you got to get through that in order to elevate yourself and anchor into the new paradigm. And so there's a period of time where you're going back and forth. Now, sometimes a person can identify, oh, they're going through a dark night of the soul. That is something different, but it could be said that your dark night of the soul includes the period of time where you're traversing 4D. They're not the same thing, but there's overlap there, right? So understanding, oh, this is what I have to go through, all this density. This is what density is. It's the fears, the worries, the anxieties, the frustrations, the grief, the sorrow, the sadness, relationship challenges, regrets, remorse, shame, blame. That's part of the healing journey. And you're going to interact with people. It could be someone who's, a relationship dynamic where someone's challenging you or provoking you. I had that happen. I had somebody actually provoke me, really try to provoke me. You'll have power struggle dynamics, possibly. You might have people in your field who are stealing from you, lying to you. I work with a gifted friend, such a long-term friend and colleague and client, and he's a healer, astrologer, works with the Vedics, and he works a lot with people in India. And sometimes he'll say things to me like, I'm like supporting them, they work for me, and they lie to me. Like it's hard to face those aspects of your own, because they are parts of your unconscious that as they get resolved and as you traverse that frequency bandwidth, you eventually do level up. Now, you're going to dip down. There's going to be times. There's going to be dips. It's not like it happens all at once or overnight. There's dips. But if you understand that this is what you're going through, because here's the thing. If you think of it in a linear way, if you allow yourself to think of this in a linear way, 3D, all physical. 4D, facing shadow aspects, unconscious aspects, wounds, traumas, problems, upsets, etc., relationship problems, physical problems, financial problems, the challenges of your reality, of the physical earthly reality, health problems, whatever it might be. That's a different bandwidth, right? Because now you're becoming conscious of what you were, in a sense, unconscious of, or maybe you were semi-conscious of, or maybe you were conscious of it, but you were tolerating it in 3D. But in order to get to 5D, you want to resolve that. And 5D is not outside of you. It's right here, right now. It's just at a different frequency bandwidth from where you are. So then in order to traverse 4D, to elevate into 5D, you've got to traverse those shadow aspects. And you want to do it with as much consciousness as you can, so you realize you don't get stuck there. You don't let that become like your reality. You recognize it's a temporary state that you're moving through as you resolve those issues. Whatever presents is whatever comes up in your life for you as a soul to address, heal, or resolve, right? Now, that's the most difficult part, because people will betray you. You'll be betrayed. You'll be lied to. You'll have relationship problems. You'll have financial problems. You'll have health problems, etc. And when you're going through that bandwidth, it feels like it's where the pain is. I'm not saying all of 4D is pain. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying in order to get from the frequency energetic of density, where all 3D physical matter only exists, and people don't believe in this stuff and they think it's woo-woo and they think it's crazy. And, is psychic stuff real, or are angels real? Like all that stuff. In order to get to the frequency where your consciousness is like, oh, I have zero doubt. I'm experiencing things for myself that are so good. I have completely cleared the need for alcohol or from my field, or I have completely cleared depression from my field, or I've completely cleared anxiety from my field, or I never worry anymore. I'm elevated into a new place where I have such great guidance. Like whatever all that is, you're traversing that. And as you traverse that, you do it with a sense of consciousness, knowing that it's a temporary state, a temporary phase. We're going to have some visitors here. And that you're just navigating that density so you can elevate up out of it. That is 4D. I have a client or student, I guess I could call her a student, and she was having a really difficult relationship challenge. And she did not realize or understand that she was going through that period, and she just thought it was her reality, but it's not. It's temporary. And as you elevate into a new frequency, that stuff starts to get expunged from your reality. Okay, I'm going to wrap now because I got unexpected visitors. I will pick this up again next time. For now, I'm going to send you so much love, wishing you your most benevolent best. Farewell for now. I hope it's been helpful. All right, bye-bye. Thanks so much for listening today. If you loved the show and if you benefited in any way, if it helped you to up level or expand your consciousness, if you gained any new insights or ideas, if it made you think or become more aware, or if there were some strategies or intuition that you may have benefited from in any way, would you please do me 2 easy and simple favors? First, if you would be willing to leave a review, it would mean the world to me. I'd be so grateful. And second, if you're willing to share this show with anyone else who would benefit, you can either post it on your social media or just email it to someone and share it with another person or any other people. It would be so awesome. This kind of thing is so helpful in expanding consciousness on the planet and helping others to benefit from this kind of teaching, which just simply isn't generally readily available in the mainstream. So sharing it really helps others benefit and helps our planet evolve and awaken. Plus, expressing gratitude and generosity in this way will also expand your capacity to give and receive even more. Either way, I just want to say thank you so much for being here and for participating and for sharing, and overall, just for being the magnificent, the spectacular, the brilliant, the fabulous, the wonderful you that you truly are, and for allowing yourself to be the very best version of you today and every day. All my love and gratitude to you.